Alright, we're here. Another episode of GCW Local to Global 1987. And we are on the October 27th episode of Fuel. We're starting off with Chris Benoit versus Bobby Duncum Jr. for the United States Championship. This is a rematch from Halloween Hell, and Chris Benoit gets the win when Duncum got intentionally disqualified. So a good opening match right here. And as you can see by the in-ring performance, Chris Benoit with a 95 and Duncum with a 56, which means that Duncum absolutely carried Chris Benoit right here. But yeah, an 86, not too bad. We'll take it, and a good opener. So afterwards, we got a brawl. We got Adonis, Duncum, the Godwins. They're brawling with Booker T, Chris Benoit, and Dustin Rhodes. We get an interview. Gene Okerlund interviews Steve Austin. He has a match tonight defending his opportunity at the GCW World Championship, which he won by winning the Summer Series, defeating Shawn Michaels in the finals. So he's talking about his opponent tonight. He says it doesn't matter who he's facing because Austin's going to come out victorious. We got the LW opening promo, and Chavo Guerrero tells Juvi, who is the number one contender to Chavo's Cruiserweight Championship, that he wants Juvi to lay down for him at Resolution before Revolution, and Juventud refuses. He shakes his head no, so maybe some disarray right here in LWO 47. Canyon takes on Al Snow next, and Canyon gets a win with a flatliner. Canyon with an 89 right here, and great chemistry from both these guys. Car crash match, did pretty good, an 80. And afterwards, we got Taz and Canyon brawling. Both these guys are arguing over who is the king of hardcore, and they have a little bit of a brawl right here. 66. J.J. Dillon is talking to Chris Candido, or should I say Chris Candido confronts J.J. Dillon backstage, and he demands a match against the Godfather on pay-per-view. Godfather, of course, tried to pick up Sonny to become a new hoe for him, and Candido took umbrage to that, and he wants to settle it. So, 71. The Rock is cutting a promo. He's either facing Triple H or Kane at Resolution before Revolution, and that is decided in tonight's main event. And he says that it doesn't matter who he's facing because The Rock is going to come out victorious. Pretty much just the Steve Austin promo, but with The Rock. Steve Austin defends his opportunity next, and he defeats Road Dogg with the stunner, and Austin keeps his opportunity, and then he stuns Road Dogg just for good measure. Brian Pillman cuts a promo, and Chris Jericho comes out. Pillman wants his IC title back, and Jericho, he's IC champ, whatever. And Pillman, wants a rematch. So it is set for the pay-per-view. Brian Pillman versus Chris Jericho in a rematch, 86. And in your main event, Kane gets the win over Triple H after interference from Farouk and Bradshaw. So Kane is the number one contender to the GCW World Championship. He will face The Rock at our next pay-per-view in November. So in 91, and we end the show with a brawl between Bradshaw, Farouk, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H. In 91, we'll take that. That's pretty good. And our popularity grows in Mexico, in Scotland, Japan, and in Europe. But we're not done with today's episode. We still got Ignition to book, so I'll be right back with Ignition. And while I throw to Ignition, we have a new series that debuted on the channel. The first episode is coming out tomorrow. We had an episode 0 yesterday to set everything up. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to go check it out. WCW 2000. We're rebooking it, trying to save it. So make sure to go check that out. But I'll be right back with Ignition in just one moment. Second show of today's episode. Let's get right into the October 28th episode of Ignition. So we're starting the show with Steve Austin coming out and cutting a promo, and out comes Jesse Ventura to interrupt, and he congratulates Steve Austin for getting the win against Road Dogg. But Austin is not out of the woods yet because he has many more opponents to face off before he can officially claim his victory from Summer Series. So Austin is going to defend his Summer Series opportunity once again in tonight's main event against a mystery opponent. So 94. We're opening the show with a tag team match, and the New Age Outlaws get the win over Gato and Jado when Billy Gunn pinned Gato with the Famouser. And Gato and Jado with 73s, they're getting to the point where they can start getting a push. And as I said multiple times, and I will continue to say, Gato and Jado will be getting a push after the brand split because the tag team division will need it. But the Outlaws get the win They actually outperform Road Dogg here. Not Billy Gunn, but the excellent chemistry helped. So 80, we're backstage with the Godfather. He's talking to Brian Pillman, and he has talked to J.J. Dillon, and he has made it official. The Godfather will team with Brian Pillman on Fuel next week as they face off against Chris Candido and the Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho. So a 69, nice. Chavo Guerrero, the Cruiserweight Champion, is cutting a promo next, and he is insulted as the leader of the Latino World Order. Why Juventud Guerrera doesn't want to lay down for him. So Chavo doesn't understand why Juvi would do such a thing. But anyway, that's the gist of the promo. 49. We got a tag team match up next. Dustin Rhodes and Booker T team up to face the Godwins. When Booker pinned Phineas, they got the win. Gets the axe kick. And this did pretty good. Dustin with a 90 carrying the match. Booker T with an 81. He's getting to the point where he can start getting a close to a world title push. I don't think he's going to get the world title push just yet. The world title plans are booked until, I think it's like 2000, like early 2000, for both world titles. Yeah, I'm pretty booked in advance for GCW. But Booker T will get his moment. He will become champion at one point. Dustin, of course, great in-ring performance. And the Godwins, surprising, gets 57s, even though the excellent chemistry helps. 57s is not bad for the Godwins, so I'm happy with that. Gets an 80. Canyon comes out for his match against DDP, but unfortunately Taz attacks him before the match can happen and takes him out. So DDP needs a new opponent. So DDP cuts a promo and he says, who in the back feels comfortable coming out and face the Diamond Dallas Page with the Diamond Cutter? Feel the bang. And out comes Dean Malenko. And DDP gets the win over Malenko with the Diamond Cutter in 7:28. And this did pretty good. A good 70. We'll take it. It was a short match, so that probably didn't help. But you know what? That's fine. DDP gets the Diamond Cutter out of nowhere and gets the win. Shawn Michaels and Triple H cut a backstage promo. Triple H is upset that he lost the match on Fuel against Kane. And he blames Bradshaw and Farouk for costing him the match. So, on Fuel, what's going to happen is Shawn Michaels will take on one member of Bradshaw and Farouk, and it's going to be Bradshaw. So, Michaels versus Bradshaw on Fuel next week. I believe, is that the main event? I believe it is. It's not. It's Steve Austin facing somebody else. So, Shawn versus Bradshaw on Fuel. 92. Gene Okerlund interviews the GCW World Champion, The Rock, and Kane doesn't stand a chance at Resolution before Revolution. That's what The Rock says right here. And it gets an 83. We'll take it. Now, who is Steve Austin facing in tonight's main event? Perry Saturn. Steve Austin gets the win over Perry Saturn. 13-32. Hits him with the stunner and gets the win. An 81. I'll take it. I wanted a little bit better, but you know what? That's fine. An 84 for Austin. A 75 for Perry Saturn. It's not a bad match. We'll take it. Afterwards, Steve Austin celebrates, and Perry Saturn slow to get up to his feet, and Austin hits him with another stunner, and then waits for him to get up, and then hits him with another stunner. And that's how we end the show with an 88. 87, we'll take it. And 200,000, it's not that great, but you know what, that's fine. Canada keeps getting up. That's what we're looking for. Japan goes up, and Europe goes up. So we're looking for Canada and Europe at the moment. It'd be nice to have a little bit of an equalizer in Japan right now, because we have a pay-per-view held in Japan next year. And Mexico is getting up there too. And I'm so happy Canada's getting up bigger. But that was a decent show, a decent Ignition, a pretty good Fuel. Next week we've got November 3rd and November 4th, Fuel and Ignition. Ooh, a big episode of Fuel next week. And a decent episode of Ignition, it looks like. So stay tuned for that. Let's go see what what Rival Pro's up to. What's DDP doing? Catchphrase, that's fine. Rival Pro is holding Sudden Impact very soon. Rival TV is okay. So we got a pay-per-view for Rival Pro coming up. I'm not showing it, of course, but I can show you what's been going on. The Rival Pro Cruiserweight Championship is currently vacant. There's nobody. It just got introduced, and it's just so we can get some Cruiserweight acts over before they go to the main roster. Heavyweight Champion is Rob Van Dam. He's currently feuding with Null. This is a Null. He's alright. It's Johnny Ace, of course. And he is a member of Being. If we look at the stables. Rival Pro Tag Champs are Lance Storm and Just Incredible. Television Champion is Goldberg, of course. So Rival Pro is doing fine. And GCW is doing great as well. So we'll be back next episode with a Fuel, with an Ignition, as we continue the build towards Resolution before Revolution, and our biggest show of the year, Revolution in December. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Goodbye.